Yeah, he's got his the Hurricane shirt on.
Got the sweater on right there, yep.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, my fighter, Joe Hindershot, he knew of this kid because of his wrestling.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I remember his debut. I think he won by decision, I'm pretty sure. But I just remember just a relentless wrestling pace. Anytime I have my wrestling background, amateurs, even younger pros, I tell them to watch Gregor Gillespie's fights in MMA.
Oh, yeah.
Now, granted, Gregor Gillespie had a tremendous wrestling background, so it can't be like, hey, go do that. You got to build that. But guys with the wrestling background, the way Gregor can move and strike and utilize his wrestling, especially when tired, that's what you want to be able to do.
Yeah, I think you're a statistics guy. I think they did a stat a few years back, maybe like 2018 or something like that, where they did a certain percentage of all the previous UFC champions, and I think it was like upwards of 70% of the previous champions had been wrestlers.
Oh, yeah.
Like the majority of the UFC champions had wrestling pedigree.
Oh, sure. All right, so I also remember Brandon Taylor's debut. Not only is he a big flyweight, but just the way he moved, his patience, his ring awareness was like that of a pro. Now, I wasn't there, but I heard he made weight. I think he had a tough time making weight. We'll see if that arduous weight cut does play a factor in the pacing of this fight. You see Joe Trevino. I know he challenged for a few Eric's amateur title belts back in the day against Jacob Silva, just a Houston staple here fight-wise. You see Artinius Machine Gun Young, as an amateur back in the day. He's a super seasoned pro now, but when he was an amateur, man, he used to make some waves. He's a longtime friend of mine now. Got a seasoned corner there.
Chico.
And then here in Brandon Taylor, we got the next generation, the new blood. This is going to be a fun fight. I remember highlighting this fight on the fight card tonight. I was really happy to see this fight stay alive. This will be a good one. I remember Taylor had a really good usage of low kicks.
It does look fairly large for a flyweight. Kind of tall.
Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. Standing 5 feet 4 inches tall, he weighed in at 124 pounds. Fighting out of Corpus Christi, Texas, he holds an amateur record of 2 wins, no losses. Representing Strong Arm BJJ, this is Jaymez Ramon.
Sorry, James. Good call.
And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. Standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, he weighed in officially at 124.8 pounds. Fighting out of Houston, Texas, he has an amateur record of 1 win, no losses. Representing the 4-ounce Fight Club and the first sponsor athlete of the Fury Unleashed podcast, this is Brandon B.T. Taylor. Your referee in charge, J.J. Baroro.
All right, flyweight bout is underway.
Yeah, notice Brandon's movement and his low kicks. Now, granted, he's fighting a bit of a wrestler, so I'm not too sure if he'll low kick.
As you say, wrestler, there's an immediate shot there.
And notice he shoots
James.
a double, gets it stuffed, transitions off to a single, and just stays on. This Ramon, he's a chain wrestler, man, and he's relentless.
Gets the lift. Taylor, though, showing some great takedown defense to begin here.
And now one thing that 4-ounce is not short on is great grapplers. Their team captain, Daniel Pineda, one of the craftiest grapplers you'll ever see in your life. But Taylor had to know what he was getting his hands into in this fight.
Yeah, it looks like he's pretty well prepared, coming out with some strong takedown defense. But
Yeah.
as you stated, the chain wrestling, it wears on you, and eventually they get the takedown.
You know, and a lot of people are probably wondering, why is Brandon not punching him? If you use your hands to punch, you're not using your hands to defend these takedowns and post and pummel and peel.
Yep.
And you can see there's a notable size difference between these guys. He's out on that low double. Ankle picks back up to a single, head inside.
Yeah, I think this is where solid wrestlers really excel in this kind of runaway position.
So there goes. Brandon found a little opportunity to hit some strikes, but he got warned for the back of the head.
Yeah.
You got Ramon's hands just an inch away. If Ramon can clasp those hands together, we'll see a lift. He switches back off to the single leg. The single leg, historically not the best takedown in MMA. You know, guys work takedown defense. They can balance. You can get, not here, but as a pro, you can get elbowed. As an amateur, you can get hit with knees and ground and pound strikes. So notice Brandon had that guillotine grip, but he did not go to his back. I think that would be a misplay. See, that's just some crafty wrestling scramble action right there.
Under a minute left in this first round.
Look at Brandon's face, like you're hanging out at the coffee shop.
Very calm, yeah.
Says, I'm not letting this wrestling change my mindset.
Yeah, Taylor looking very well prepared for this fight.
Good jab there from Brandon. Switching his stance is making Youngblood Ramon, really choose how he's going to shoot. Low kick, to a double to a single.
Yep.
It's funny, it looked like he was shooting a double, but Brandon hit that stance change, but Ramon's lead hand able to grab around that leg. So how do you score this? Do you give,
Right, do you give James the round for all the pressure and attempts, or do the shots in between and the takedown defense do enough?
And do the takedown score? See, that's a tough one to call. They say, so criteria, damage is number one. I don't think damage is done either way. So it's effective striking and then effective grappling. So, and then effective is the real subjective word.
And then I think
I'd be curious.
Cage control is in there somewhere.
But
really nobody.
Now did, James finish any takedowns? That's the question. Maybe on that little fireman's carry mod he tried, scored for it. But even wrestling and jiu-jitsu scoring, he didn't get any top control time.
He was
exactly.
right back up to his feet every single time.
Now Brandon did land a really notable jab, good jab. So I'd say Brandon actually did the damage in the fight. So attempts were on James or Jaymez. I got to figure out how to say his name.
I'm pretty sure it's James.
James, yeah.
But I could be wrong.
James.
I've been wrong.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, he'll correct us after the fight if he needs to.
Please do.
But James definitely utilized more effort and energy. And even look at these guys' legs. Oh, good front kick there from Brandon.
Caught him a little bit as he was coming in for the takedown. Kind of anticipated that he would shoot there.
So he almost finished that single leg. He's got his hands together. I'm looking for a big scoop here. He's battling some strong hips. He's got the hands.
Tries to step around the legs. Doesn't quite get him either.
Got the lift. He's got the finish. So that one scores. And he's got some control time. And fight fans, that's what I mean when I say relentless. I mean, there wasn't more than a few seconds of separation before you see James Ramon just shooting in, and he's just on him.
We'll see what type of guard Taylor has here.
That level of conditioning is outrageous. That's hard to do.
Yeah, Brandon Taylor definitely has the advantage on the feet, it seems.
I don't see a chance in the world for Brandon just to push James off. He's going to have to get an underhook and build a base and get up to his feet, but to just open his guard, put his feet on his hips and launch him off is not going to happen. I mean, James's hips are glued. Oh, hey, look at that.
Hey.
And never mind, I stand corrected. Good for Brandon Taylor.
Right on.
That's a tough get up against a real heavy wrestler.
Yeah. That's very seldom one you see works. Usually you get caught on your way up, or you get hit with another takedown.
Or the wrestler just drives the hips in.
Yep. Okay.
Oh, while he whacked into an uppercut there, did the Youngblood. Pace has slowed a bit here from James. And you can see Brandon fights so comfortably from both stances, a very comfortable switch stance fighter. Utilizes the jab well from both stances. He did have to take his low kicks out of the arsenal for this fight, because when a guy's shooting as consistently as James,
so,
yeah, you don't want to sit there on one leg. And honestly, this is where a jab and an uppercut or a jab and a cross is enough.
Looked for the uppercut, as you said it. Fighting off another takedown attempt, though.
So it's one thing to score these takedowns, of which James did this round, but then once you get him down, what do you do with it?
Yeah, damage. You have to do some sort of damage. I mean, control is one thing, but we're looking for damage after that.
Yeah, I had a fight recently. A guy actually hit like a wizard takedown on me, but from the guard, I shot an armbar. He settled back in, and then I elbowed him and cut him open. Like, even though he got the takedown, he got beat up while he was on top.
He paid for it, yeah.
You know, so it's not just about getting the takedown. It's getting a takedown and doing some damage and landing some strikes.
10 seconds left in this round.
And Brandon Taylor has left no openings for James Wrestling to be effective in this fight.
So we're probably 1-1 here.
Yeah. So, again, scoring that round, that second round, also a little strange. I mean, it's just subjectively challenging. Who'd you give that second round to?
I'm going to go with James for the takedown.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I know he didn't do much with it, but you have to say that it was effective.
He scored, for sure.
He was relentless with the attempts. I know that Taylor's doing much more on the feet, but I don't think he's landing as much to be as damaging. Like, what he's landing is not as damaging.
Right. And I do know judging is being pushed into only score the takedowns if they're effective.
Yes.
Which means submission attempts, position, progression, and most importantly, ground and pound.
You've got to do something with it. But I think in a situation where a fight is close, the guy who got the takedown might be, that's the edge per se.
That's fair.
Like right at the end of a round type situation, like seal the deal. But
Superman punch
it looks
into
like,
a shot.
James coming out hot in this round with some urgency, it looks like.
And that's that relentlessness. Give him an underhook, give him an overhook, give him a wrist grab, and you will see James just all over you. This is a frustrating way to be fought, too. Brandon wants to show his skills, show his style, but he's just being smothered by the wrestling here of James. He's doing a fantastic job, by the way, dealing with it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. His ability to stay up has been remarkable.
His takedown defense has been good. The times he's been taken down, his
like
get-ups have been good.
I'd like to see a takedown attempt versus success number on this fight,
I like Brandon's facial expression.
He's still so calm, cool, and collected all the way through the fight.
He says, I got 99 problems, but this wrestling ain't one.
But now in these moments, he's got to be active. He's got to be doing something to get that takedown back, per se.
What's crazy, the amount of takedowns and takedown defense that both guys have had to implement, you'd think they'd be more tired. Both guys look pretty fresh. Brandon looking more fresh than James.
He does look very fresh. He looks just the same as he did when we started the fight. But it's like, like Fedor back in the day. You'd never know he was tired.
Yeah.
That was his demeanor at all times.
Couldn't tell him he was tired, happy, sad, excited.
Same expression all the time.
He'd score a knockout over a previous champ and look like he just woke up.
Right, very good. See you later. I mean, great takedown defense from Brandon Taylor here.
Nice little matador jab there. Show him the right hand, throw the left hand.
Shoves another one there.
See, this is where Brandon's really running away with some of the judging.
He's got to take over right now. He's got to take over.
There we go. James with a good little right hand and a good left hook. Got a fight on our hands now. There's a minute left in this third round. The crowd's rowdy. This is a fun one.
Deep on that leg.
It was deep. I mean, you see his head's high. So this is where the professional rule set with elbows would be
Kind of changes the game a little bit, huh?
Not advantageous for James's style. when he's on those singles and high Cs. When he's a pro, guys can't hit these short elbows.
Yeah, and it only takes a couple of those to make you move very quickly.
I'm glad I'm not judging.
Yeah, 10 seconds left in this fight, and I honestly don't know.
I mean, if you guys want to see what it looks like to have wrestling as your primary style, watch this guy fight. I mean, he used it well. And he caught about as much adversity as he could in terms of, denial of that style. Just as a martial artist and MMA enthusiast, I really enjoyed watching that fight. I was curious to see if Taylor could neutralize the wrestling of James.
He did a very great job all throughout the fight. Usually, as I stated earlier in the fight, those add up, and eventually the wrestler gets his way. But Brandon Taylor decided that wasn't going to be the scenario. That's not going to be the case tonight. He had very good takedown defense, particularly in open space. Against the cage, a lot of guys are good. It's usually in the open space, as we're seeing right now, where guys struggle with takedowns. They get caught. They have nothing to help them get up. I mean, he did such a great job tonight. But, the relentlessness of James is one thing to be noted as well.
Yeah, good grappling or not, if you had to fight James, that'd be a miserable fight camp.
Yeah. I mean, you see, like we said, his training partner, the Hurricane, now you see these guys kind of have those similar styles. They go balls to the wall.
It's like their hips are two negatively charged magnets stand. It's a positive and negative, just stand on them. I'm genuinely interested to see how the judges called this one.
It's taking a little bit longer than it normally does. So
I mean, it could go 30-27 either way. No joke. I mean, and I don't think anyone can be too mad at it.
Yeah, I mean, flip a coin. Flip a coin.
Yeah.
Who gets it?
No matter what, Brandon Taylor can take a victory away from this performance, knowing if he does fight, I couldn't imagine a more credentialed wrestler than Jaymez Ramon here, or James Ramon. And if he can fight those guys and not get taken down, good for him.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of combat, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision brought to you by Howlerhead Whiskey. Judge Joe Solis scores the fight 30-27, Ramon. Judge Ryan Thompson scores the fight 29-28, Taylor. And Judge Chance Williams scores the fight 30-27, declaring your winner by unanimous decision, split decision, James Ramon.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, that was all over the board. And rightfully so. Congratulations to James. I'm glad they cleared that up to James Ramon. Congratulations, young James. Your effort was not without value. He shot hard. I mean, he attempted a lot of takedowns, a lot got stuffed, but he was just relentless with it. I like watching this boy fight. He's got a bright future in mixed martial arts, as does Brandon Taylor. I'd say a successful fight from both guys.
Yeah, for sure. I know, like you said, that could have gone either way, 30-27, rightfully so. Both guys got valuable experience from that, so I'm happy to see both of these guys leave. I know some of the crowd may not have been happy with the decision there, but that's what happens when it comes down to the decision. Sometimes we have these split decisions that are almost too close to call. That's one of the closer ones I've seen.
Yeah, same. And that's so subjective. Next fight coming up.